My name is Tracy Ward, and I listen to Free Talk Live. Ian, man up. Stop being such a baby about crap. And Mark, I love you, but sometimes you just go off on those rants just a little bit too hardcore. Love you guys.
I am here with Claire and Madison, who are two lovely ladies being homeschooled. And I had some questions. Instead of actually, asking parents, I decided to ask homeschoolers these questions. So, Claire, I'm going to start with you. And can you give me an idea? One of the biggest complaints people always think about homeschooling is that you grow up without interaction of other kids and social networks. How do you meet other kids, or do you feel like do you feel like you're having a hard time meeting children your own age?
It is hard meeting other children because we don't go to homeschooling classes anymore, but we do have two very good friends named Olivia and Genevieve. They're homeschoolers, but
a little older. How do you meet children?
Well, like Claire said, we don't really meet children, but we do get to play with our friends and everything like that. Like, we talk to them a lot. We have our own email addresses, so we can talk to our friends also there.
But I thought the homeschooling groups are organized enough now that you kind of meet other homeschool kids through networking events and stuff.
My mom did find a couple homeschooling groups, but I really don't know how to put this.
Were they different than your belief system? Is that the problem?
Yeah, that was that like all the moms, they were all for Obama. They were all like those kind of people. Like they're all.
So you find it harder to find kids that are raised in a liberty environment.
Mm-hmm.
And they think that you guys are odd sometimes, I bet.
Very. And all of the people that were in the groups were all unschooled, so they really did just sit around all day, didn't really do anything, just like played.
So I'm a little confused because for us that don't know the difference, what is homeschooling versus unschooling?
Homeschooling is where you actually learn stuff and do schoolwork like normal kids, except.
So you guys have a set schedule where you sit in front and from this time to this time you're working on math. From this time to this time you're working on.
It's like school, but it's not scheduled. Like you have more space. You're not trying to, and you don't have other kids bothering you.
How many hours a day do you think you're actually doing studying?
Our math takes a long time because we have to do like 100 division questions. Like those are simple, but then you have to do a whole lesson, which is mental math.
Well, I mean, maybe I should be clear. Does it take about, like when I used to go to public school, the government school, it would take about, even though I went for 6 hours, you were only really learning something for maybe 4 or 5 hours. A lot of that was just moving around and going back and forth between school. So, and maybe I was paying attention 3 hours. So do you guys think you do probably 3 hours of actual learning a day?
A lot more than 3 hours.
It's like
about 5.
It's like 10 to 6.
And
we start at 10 or whenever we just get up.
How do you decide what's going to be you're working on that day and what you're studying?
Well, we just do lessons in our math, so we just follow the lessons. Like you'll do
So your mom has lesson plans already laid out.
Yeah.
And how much do you guys get to contribute to that? And you can say, I don't want to learn this. I'd rather learn this. Or does that not fly?
That doesn't fly. It's math, so you got to learn math one way it's only one way.
Yeah.
Only one way.
So,
yeah.
And as far as if you guys ever wanted to play sports or do any sort of community activities, can you find other kids around if you're interested in that stuff?
Well, we do play soccer already.
That's a good way to meet friends?
Yeah.
that's how we got involved with one of the homeschooling groups through one of our friends through soccer. And then that was one that we found that was not with our beliefs, so our mom didn't like it that much.
As far as you guys, if you, how much input do you get to have? Like, have you ever said, Mom, I want to go to government school, or do you enjoy your homeschooling? I mean, do you get a choice in it?
We don't really get a choice.
No, well, we do get a choice, but we were government schooled for about 4 years. Well, I was for 4 years. She was for
3.
3
2.
years. 2 or 3.
Oh, so you've already been in the system.
Yes,
Okay,
we have.
I wasn't sure.
And we like that we got to socialize with people, but we didn't really get to do it very much because they don't give you space at all. And my mom found out that, of course, government schools, they don't really teach you the right way. And then in college, you've got to completely unlearn what you've learned in government schools and then learn it all again the right way.
It does seem odd that I had the exact same classes in college that I did in high school. I mean, if you learn it
Yeah.
once the first time right, why do you have all the same classes again?
And then you do it again.
That's what our mom said. She's like, college is just repeating high school over for like a degree.
I actually
That's what
thought
she
it was
said.
easier than high school, college, because it was a lot less rigid. You know, you didn't have to ask someone to go to the bathroom and attendance, and you got to pick your teachers. If you didn't like your teacher, you could just fire them and pick another teacher.
That's nice.
Yeah, that part. Have you ever
Fire
fired your
mom.
mom? No? Now, what about the social stuff? Have you guys ever just driven each other completely crazy? Like, you know, you're having bad days and you're driving your mom nuts. I mean, how do you deal with mom as a teacher?
She kind of just gives us workbooks to do because she's so busy doing other stuff. But
Well, it's not really that she's too busy. It's that with the programs that she's found, we don't really need her help because we're supposed to like be self-teaching, which is what you're
gotcha.
going to have to do when you grow up. You're not going to have your mom there to ask how to do something, so you've got to self-teach yourself, and that's how we do about everything.
It must be very different because I know you guys are young and don't know a time before the internet, but there was this time where you could not get on and just type in 3 words and find out the information instantly. There was this time where you actually had to go to a library and dig through a bunch of books and waste hours of time trying to get one little nugget of information. I imagine these days with the internet, is it more just teaching you how to find information and then you guys finding it when you want it?
well,
Or, I mean, it's got to be so different now.
we don't really get on the internet because our mom's normally on it, doing like taxes and stuff.
Or like liberty-oriented stuff,
Yeah.
like with our groups.
Right.
Her groups,
And
yeah, so that's what it's...
So
Maybe I'm sorry, that was a bad question. I'm trying to say how much of your schooling is, you know, like classes on the internet or
we don't
Have you got
do,
to that point?
We don't do
None.
anything on the internet.
Nothing is school on the internet. All of our informations are in our books, like our math books tell us everything.
They tell you how to do it, and then they give you a lesson practice, which is what they just told you, and you try to do it by yourself. And then they have a mixed practice, which is all the other lessons put together of everything. So
all right.
it's everything put together what you've learned. So
Now, have you guys ever just really do you get like your weekends off too as a normal schedule, or are you expected to do some sort of learning every day?
well, we on Saturday or Sunday we have to do our maths. So it's 6 days a week and not 5 days a week. But other than that, yeah.
Do you get vacations like other kids?
No.
So like when you go away at the beach, you still having to study?
Yes.
Well, it's like if we have to study, then that's what we do first, and then we get to go where we want to go. But the reason why we do it 6 days instead of just 5 is because those 2 days you're usually with your friends or doing something and not really like caring about math. So at least one of those days you've got to do something with math just to keep on. Like,
Well,
not
that
forgetting
actually
something.
makes sense because if you stop
Yeah.
writing or doing math or something, that stuff's just out the window. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get that.
Like summer.
Summer, oh man. So what do you, that's another question. Do you get a summer break like other kids that go to government school?
We don't
we
really.
don't know.
Well, it's because we just kind of started on we just got started on what we're doing, like all of our lessons. Like,
Our new math books.
yeah, we've got new math and new writing and new reading and everything. So we don't know what we're going to do for the summer. We might have a break, like we might have the whole summer break, but we probably will like do some math because usually in summer that's when you forget everything.
I know,